In this demo, I'll be showing you how modules can be used to organize your code. Modules help keep your code self-contained and easier to follow. Here we have a program that has 4 separate functions. We have 2 functions that print out information, and we have 2 functions that perform mathematical operations. This is fine for small programs. Since there isn't much functionality available, we can just see it all and be okay. But as your program grows, you'll want to use modules to separate out different functionality. I'm going to group up the functionality based on what it does into separate modules. First, I'll group up these 2 functions into their own module. To do so, we use the mod keyword, and then just supply a name. I'll call this module greet. The body of the module, as defined by these curly braces, will need to have all the functionality that you want the module to contain. So I'm going to move these functions into the greet module. Now that these functions are within the greet module, you'll need to access them differently in your main function. Previously, you would be able to just call hello as a function and it would work. But now that it's in a greet module, we have to specify which module we are using. In this case, we're using the greet module. So we just type in greet, followed by the 2 colons, and then the name of the function we're trying to access. Since hello is within the scope of the greet module, we have to use the word greet in order to access it. Alternatively, if we have a lot of functions within the greet module that we want to use, we can provide a use keyword, and then we can use greet with the asterisk. The asterisk will take all the functionality within this greet module and make it available within our main function. So now we would just be able to type in hello, since that function, as defined in the greet module, is available for use within the main function. If there's only one function you'd like to use from the greet module, and you don't care about the rest of them, you can just use it directly by typing in the name of the function you want to use. So now we can use the hello function directly, but if we wanted to use the goodbye function, we still need to type in greet goodbye. It's good practice to list out each function specifically that you'd like to use. That way, you're able to tell which function came from which module, just in case multiple modules have the same function name. I'm now going to group these mathematical functions into a module called math, and the same thing applies to these functions. If I want to use them within main, I need to use the math module, and then supply the function name I want to use. Organizing your code in this manner makes functionality much easier to find for new developers. So if they know they want to perform a mathematical operation using a function that may exist in your program, they can go straight to the math module and then look for the function there. These modules are also shown in your documentation that's generated by the documentation tool. So it's really easy to discover new functionality in your program when you group them up into modules. One important thing to note about modules is, as you can see, we aren't using any functionality here. We just have functions defined. So each module can be thought of as its own file of source code, and so there's nothing used in the particular greet module. If, for example, we wanted to use the hash map from the collections module in the standard library, the hash map would only be available to the main function because the module has its own version of different using statements. So if we wanted to use hash map within greet, we would then have to use it like that. Just think of modules as their own individual file. So if you have additional functionality you want to use from the standard library, you'll need to have a using statement within the module itself in order to access it. This concludes the demo on modules. I'll see you in the next presentation.